Hello everybody and welcome to the third and final episode of this YouTube series, the Melee Legacy Elite Dungeons Trilogy solo series, with myself, DokuraRS. It is wonderful to have you here and back for the third episode. I hope you all are well. So, ED3. I absolutely love ED3. A lot of the content we do on the channel over on Twitch is actually Elite Dungeons 3. So I know this solo really well, I know the minion spawns really well and stuff like that. It was in this dungeon that we really started to abuse the dragon halberd and that special attack, because that special attack is actually amazing, just for clearing the minions. And unlike the other elite dungeons, these minions are smaller and group up together without absolutely wrecking you. Because obviously, ED1, they are smaller and they do group up quite well, but having a lot of them grouped up like that can be extremely painful and tends to lead to you dying. ED2, they're all dragons. They've all got really large areas that they take up for the most part. Whereas in ED3, it's all these Grassian things and the zombies. You can group them up together and you can just slaughter them. So we finally get to properly use the legacy AoEs, which is great. Now, the first wave was just fantastic. We did see a bossy McBoss face, and as you do on any Elite Dungeons run, if you see a bossy McBoss face, well, you all know what you do. You run straight past. No, of course you don't. You kill him. You try and get that Swordy McSword face, which we didn't get. But I couldn't help myself going for the bossy McBoss face kill. I mean, can you blame me? Really? There's a chance at free money, and it's an easy enough fight. Yeah, we were in Legacy, but it's fine. It's fine. We got the kill. Yeah, bossy McBoss face complete. Hardest boss fight in the entire trilogy. Done. Video over. Let's stop now. So we are just finally making our way up to boss number 7 in this Elite Dungeons trilogy in the full series, which is the Grassian Leviathan. The easiest boss of them all, I would say. I know Stellan has a reputation for being easy, but Grassian Leviathan is also a bit of a walk in the park, once you know how to do it. So the key thing with the Grassian Leviathan, obviously from melee runs anyway, is to camp that scythe. We've run in and straight off dropped the Gyroscope sword spec as per usual. But again, it's all about the scythe camp. Making sure you keep that distance, making sure you stay safe when actually combating it. Definitely combating it is the correct way to phrase that. Again, as per all fights being Legacy mode, it's going to take a while. It's going to take a long period of time just to get this done, just because the DPS in Legacy is so low. Now, again, we did get lucky here with not getting stunned with that poison as we ran across. That would have been problematic. It's why we tried to make sure we stuck to the edges so that if it did happen, we weren't going to get battered by him doing his big old laser beam, and could hopefully get out of the stun quick enough. But we got lucky throughout this fight and we didn't actually get stunned once, which is fantastic. So, as I said, it's just slowly DPSing it down, using them dread nips and things like that, just to make sure that we keep those kills, the DPS as high as possible. Grassian Leviathan really is an easy fight. And again, you know, we are just really struggle busing a little bit for the times. I hate the times that we're getting on the Legacy kills. It's just, everything's so slow. But at the end of the day, we didn't even know if this was possible going into this challenge. And so far we are at 0 deaths and boss number 7. So I think we're doing pretty well. I think we're doing pretty solidly. The next wave had me concerned, and this is the last boss where yes, with Sieru, there was always that concern that I'd die a few times, but I knew for a fact I'd get eventually past it. I was pretty confident, 99%, maybe 70%, probably 50-50, that I thought I'd get past it in the end. Getting through it first time was phenomenal. Now, the next wave, wave 2, that was one of the real concerns, just because of the bridge. And anybody who's ever done ED3 understands exactly what I mean by that stupid bridge. But when we get to it, we'll see what happened, and whether or not we actually lost the no death streak at all during this fight and this trilogy. Because so far we've got. We've signed. Of course, we've signed, but we've not actually died. So Can we even keep that up? Is it even possible to keep that up throughout the full trilogy? Given that the next bosses coming up and the only remaining bosses are Tyroket, the Necromancer, and the Ambassador himself, no, I'm going to put money on that we cannot keep up the no death streak. But we can try. We can only try. So, at this point, again, we're finally coming up to it, the bit. Now, here, we're not really following what we've done in the past of kill everything before entering the temple, because we were going through a gateway, so things can't follow us through there. Whereas, for the bridge, yeah, we killed off everything that the Necromancers were spawning. I wasn't taking any chances on this bridge, because, jeez, man, the amount of damage you take is just not even fun. It's not fair, it's not right, it's not normal. And it's made 10 times worse on Legacy, because you don't have devotion. Mainly because you don't have devotion at AoEs to take out the sea horrors at the end of the bridge. But, we're just going to take us time, as we've done before, and we're going to kill as much as we can, and lure things out and kill them. Oh wait, no, it's the bridge. We can't lure anything out. We've got to run there and sit and tank all the damage and kill it. Fantastic. The only time that we can't actually do that. One of the times where we truly want to. As you can see, I'm just, I braced myself before going through the bridge, man. Like, I was scared. This is where I thought the no death streak was going to end. And his HP, he's fine. It's fine. It didn't go that low on the bridge. Not as low as I expected it to anyway. And we've only got a little bit left before we finally get up to the next boss fight. Tyroket the Necromancer, who is a very challenging fight, especially for Legacy mode kills. And there's a few reasons as to why. So, Tyroket, yeah, quite a few reasons why. Only 2 or 3 reasons why Tyroket is such a problem. And the obvious one being that he heals based on how many minions are left alive. Now, this wouldn't normally be much of a problem because you can AoE the minions down, especially with the Rift, so we can get them down nice and quick. But in Legacy, we're struggling there, and we don't have the same AoE numbers as we do in EOC. So, again, this is one time where we just abused that Dragon Halberd. The Dragon Halberd saved this fight, especially when the Corpse Carrier comes out, because it just meant that we can use the Zara's God Sword special attack you and go straight for the Pterosaur Maul to DPS Tyroket down, and then as soon as that Rift spawns, we can hit it with the Kopeshes a little bit to just DPS it down a bit, and then go for the Dragon Halberd once there was more minions out, and just start clearing them off, so that Tyroket wasn't healing as much as the damage we can do. Real nightmare, real high chance of killing us. Killing the Rift itself in time was a bit of a challenge sometimes because you don't get that long to DPS it down. More than enough time to do in solo in EOC. Fine, not a problem there. It's just in the Legacy kills, I found there was a lot going on. And the other real problem is obviously for solos, it's nicer to kick him and move him to get that Corpse Carrier first. Whereas again, we're not capable of doing that. We've got to deal with the Corpse Carrier as the second minion. And I would very much like to get him out of the way first, because of getting rid of those minions with the AoEs again against Corpse Carrier. However, for the Bloated Monstrosity, we're just going to slowly DPS it down and tank Tyroket's hits, making sure we're watching that prayer, making sure if at any point of Rift spawns we're focusing the Rift, going for those Dragon Halberd special attacks when we can, going for the Zara's God Sword special attacks when we feel a little bit more confident, and then making sure that now, once we're back on Tyroket, we are using the Pterosaur more, just for that extra damage. And really, just trying to DPS him down. Obviously, again, the healing when he phases, not much of a problem, because as long as we can get him to the 200k or 20k in Legacy to get the phase, we're laughing. It's all about stopping and healing off those minions. Again, he can heal a little bit off it. As long as he's not healing more than we're dealing damage, it's fine. At that point, it just becomes a case of cycling through everything that we know about it and that we worked out about the fight, and making sure that we survive long enough. Again, the Primal Feast and the Supersonic Domain Brews doing absolute work there. The Enhanced Excalibur doing work for the length of these fights, and the Blessed Flask being a godsend. I am so glad that we put the time and effort into getting this, into getting that flask. It really is brilliant. It just meant that we could carry so much more food and not have to worry about how many prayer potions we're carrying, as well as how much food we're carrying. So, obviously the corpse carrier's finally out. You know, we're at the back end of this fight now. Everything else, once the corpse carrier dead, is just rinse and repeat what we've already done. Dodging the ghost wall, again, is also, you know, rinse and repeat stuff that we've done. Dodging the ghost wall, it's just moving. It's not hard. It's not difficult to do. And the only reason I get hit by it sometimes in EOC is if I'm sat trying to, you know, force out the last few hits on a channeled ability or something like that, and then I'll surge away. Whereas in Legacy we don't have that issue. We're just slowly keeping that pressure up, DPSing corpse carrier down, using those Dragon Halberd special attacks as much as we possibly can. As you can see, Taraket has actually fully healed at this point, annoyingly, but we're not bothered about that. We know we can out DPS his healing when we put the effort into that. The corpse carrier just made that particularly difficult for this part. So it was a case of, let's get the corpse carrier down, let's clear out the minions, which Taraket, funny enough, did for us as it fully healed right at the end. And then we've just got that 400k, well, 40k, 400k, whatever, HP to just sit and DPS through. I say DPS, I mean sit and just slap him with auto attacks and not really do much other than watch my HP and switch to a couple of special weapons and switch weapons when we're on the portal and stuff like that. Okay, maybe I'm doing more than I thought. I mean, I know Legacy's easy. It's just Legacy, isn't it? It's not like it is it's a unique challenge. It's kind of like old school RuneScape, but against bosses that are not designed to be fought in that scenario, which is great. That's what I think makes it really good fun. It's one of these makes these challenges unique. And again, we don't even know if it's possible. But wait a minute, we are slowly getting through the Taraket fight and we still haven't died. We haven't died. We may have signed, but we haven't died. I think we might actually get to Ambassador. I know. We get to Ambassador without a single death, and it is amazing, and it feels incredible. Will we get through Ambassador without dying? No. I'm not even going to try and build that suspense. Nope. Ambassador is going to bend us over. And he's not going to be nice about it. He's not going to be polite. He's not going to buy his dinner first. You know, take us out for a meal. Be like, oh, okay, here you go. And then you're done for. It's full on, come here, sit down, you're gone. Ambassador was ruthless. However, we're not going to be putting the list of... We're not going to put all of the times I died at Ambassador into this video. As this is the video for, is it even possible? Which, we'll find out. We'll find out together in this scientific experiment. Again, I'm fairly certain, 99% confident that nobody before this has even attempted or succeeded in getting a full Legacy Elite Dungeons Trilogy using only melee, or the Ambassador kill in Legacy using only melee in solo for either. So if we actually get the Ambassador kill, that would be pretty amazing. That would feel so good, and all of this effort would be worth it. What I do want you to note is the game time that you can see on screen for what time it is now in game, what time it'll be at the end of the waves when we get to Ambassador, and then what time it is when it comes to the Ambassador kill. Yeah, Taraket did take a while though, slowly DPSing him down, slowly getting through that HP. We just, again, it really is just cycling through the motions of what we know to do, of using that Dragon Halberd special attack, using that Terrasol Maul on Taraket, using the Kopeshas and things on the Rifts to DPS that down, and just trying to make sure that he doesn't heal too much, and slowly DPSing through the guy. Fantastic, I know. But once it's done, it's done. We never have to do Tarot Kit again in Legacy. Unless people spend channel points on the stream to make me do Tarot Kit again in Legacy. At which point, yeah, I'll do it. I won't be happy about it, but I'll do it. Now, we have the final wave of all of this challenge. It is... this is it. We're getting there. We're finally at the point where it's like, oh my god. As if, at this point, we've done 8 waves of enemies across 3 different dungeons. We've done 8 bosses across 3 different dungeons. We have 1 wave of enemies and 1 boss left. And it isn't even the hardest wave of enemies. It is, however, the hardest boss. Yeah, Ambassador is a nightmare. So, we're just going to slowly again chip through these, kill off what we need to... we're not that bothered at this point about things following us again, because we're going to be jumping down relatively quickly, and we shouldn't take that much damage by the time we get there, because again, it's not really getting to us. It's doing that whole Kong line thing, so there's very minimal actually attacking us, and we're getting down. The final section of the final wave, one area of concern here, especially, well, 2 areas of concern, which is the final 2 areas. So the first set of Crassians fine, the skeletons coming up, bit of an issue, but we just pray magic, we stop them healing themselves and get them down. The area after that, where we've got 3 cloaked zealots, some Crassian things, and 2 skeletons, is a bit scary. The area after that, where the mini-bosses spawn, if we get aggroed by one of those mini-bosses, we're going to hurt. It's not going to be a pleasant sight if, because up to 3 mini-bosses can spawn there. So if all 3 spawn there and we get aggroed by one, it's really going to sting. But we're going to deal with it. We're going to make sure that we've got enough, we've got quite a lot of food with us. We're going to make sure we kill them and kill everything. And we didn't even get any mini-bosses spawn there. We got so lucky with that one. However, we are so close to Ambassador now. We can taste the end of this challenge. The only problem is, he's stood there. That's Ambassador, looking all scary. We're just going to get a screenshot. We had to get the screenshot because we actually got here. Terrifying thing. Absolutely terrifying. I'm probably going to smash us. Okay then, so there is a large amount of issues regarding Ambassador. A lot of mechanics to deal with. A lot of stuff to deal with. And no real ability to deal with it in Legacy. So we've got quite a few mechanics. Now, firstly, the smoke, easy. You just drop it and you move. Now, we did end up using... I've forgotten the name of it all of a sudden. The Prism of Salvation. That's the one. Just so that we can jump back after we drop a smoke. So, one of the main issues initially with Ambassador is the spinners, as they're commonly called, the sinister fragments, as well as the black holes. Now the black holes, we've already stated, we're just using the Dragon Spear special attack to stun them and move on. Now, the sinister fragments, what we've ended up deciding to do is we worked out exactly where the first one's going to land. So run out and drop 2 Dominion mines there, and then use Kopeshers to DPS it down with the 2 Dominion mines. Then skip the second one. On the third one, again, we're going to use Kopeshers, and roughly 4 hits from both Kopeshers. 4 hits from 2 hits from each Kopesh to DPS that down, and use a Superior Dragon Longsword special attack, followed by 1 nice big hit from Azaro's Godsword, as well as using a Dreadnought throughout, killing that spinner or sinister fragment, whatever you want to call it. We then move on to the next one, again skipping another, so we only actually kill 3 sinister fragments and do exactly the same rotation. Now, to then tank the 3 big hits, we're going to instantly put on the Divine Spirit Shield, as well as the Fortitude Prayer, and we're just going to use that and eat up to full HP. Now, we've got the Spirit Shield soak 30% of the damage, we've got the Trimmed Masterwork to soak up quite a bit of the damage, and we have the Fortitude Prayer to increase our defense as well. We're also going to use, as it's about to hit us, a power burst of vitality to double that max HP so that we can tank as much, and then the shield dome spell just to get another 50% damage absorption. We're going to tank 2 hits under shield dome. Obviously the Divine Spirit Shield would normally be slaughtering our prayer points at this point, but this is exactly why we used the Penance Aura. And then on the third one we will cast that Prism of Salvation. Again, eat up to full, make sure we drink some potion, drink some prayer potion, and move to drop the smoke, as that is happening roughly at that time. And then get back on the Spirit of Salvation once the final hit's happened and the smoke's been dropped, back with that Pterosaur Maul to DPS Ambassador down. Again, we're constantly trying to make sure we're watching that adrenaline, I always say adrenaline, special attack bar, to make sure that we've got enough to do the Dragon Longsword special attacks. A huge shout out to Mr. Iddles again for that Dragon Longsword special. He was in the background running the numbers throughout this, and the initial attempts we were using the Dragon Dagger special to try and get those hits out. But thanks to Mr. Iddles, he worked out that it was roughly 5% more damage each time in that particular scenario to use the Superior Dragon Longsword. So that's what we did, and we started to get the spinners more consistently. And we ended up getting, was it 7 cycles of spinners? It was horrible, before we finally phased it. So, 7 cycles, man. 7 cycles. Now, at this stage, there's a lot more to deal with, and as you can see, there's more special attack weapons inside my inventory. They will be used later. Mainly, the Superior Vesta's Spear was an absolute godsend of an idea for getting this kill. Or getting this attempt. Oh no, yeah, we got the kill. We actually got the kill. I can't believe we actually got the kill, but we did get the kill. Despite a few mistakes in the final kill. Now, as you've seen from the time difference, possibly, it took hours. Hours and hours and hours of grinding to get this done. But it was worth it in the end, I feel, as I'm fairly certain I'm the only person that's done it in Legacy, in Melee specifically. I know it's been done in Mage, and I know it's been done in Range, but never only Melee. So, this was the first time we phased it. We only phased it once, and at this point my heart was going like the clappers. I couldn't believe we'd done it. And then we got the Sierra spawn, and it was a case of what is even going on. So the final part of the fight. This is the intense bit. I was absolutely convinced that we would not get this, given it was the first time we had actually phased past the spinners. The mage hits. That's the issue. That's the problem. Now, to get past these, we did a combination of putting, obviously, putting on the Divine Spirit Shield. The Trimmed Masterwork helped with absorbing that. We had swapped out the perk, as normally you would have Impatient 4 on your arm perks. I did swap that out for Absorbative 4, and on the Divine Spirit Shield I had put the perk Crystal Shields 4, just for being as tanky as possible. So we were using the Divine Spirit Shield, obviously switching to Protect from Mage, and then using a Power Burst of Vitality, as I'd taken 2 with me to get through the fight. As well as that, we were using the Superior Vesta's Spear special attack, which hits the boss but also nerfs damage for 5-6 seconds. So that was the real key to getting this kill. We did also get very, very lucky with the Enhanced Devoted 4 proccing and activating for us. It was amazing. My heart was pounding so much at this point in the fight. I couldn't believe it. I mean, if you look at how much food I've got left now, we ended up dismissed, as you'll see very shortly. The Mammoth got dismissed, and the Unicorn got summoned, and we actually ran out of food. And we're on about 400 HP. So probably 4,000 for EOC. But we got the kill. And to my knowledge, I am the first person and only person to get this kill in Legacy, in Melee, in Solo, for both the Ambassador kill and the full Elite Dungeons Trilogy, using Melee only in Legacy, very specifically. If you can find any evidence in any way, shape or form of somebody doing it before me, in Melee only in Legacy, please send me it, show me. This run was completed on Friday the 11th of September. and I do have all of the raw files to prove that as well. So thank you so much for watching this far, thank you so much for watching this video. Please come and check out the stream. We do all sorts of challenges like this. You can use the channel points to put me in Legacy against just about whatever boss you want, apart from Solak, while I'm still learning it. When we have channel points active, you can take away my food, maybe do all sorts of stupid challenges with the channel points. It's great fun, we have a great time. We also strongly recommend going to Dokura's PVM Discord. They are an absolutely fantastic learner-friendly Discord, a non-toxic community, a brilliant community, really worth checking out. Thank you so much. You can see my sped up reaction there to actually getting the kill. Truly thank you for watching this video, and have a wonderful day.